You don't know how to end anything, bro?
Nice. I was gonna say do something unexpected.
Yeah. Do something unexpected, dog. You
I'll
sound
show
like
my
everybody.
boobies.
You showing your boobies?
Do it, we'll trend.
Guys, yeah, we'll have the first unscripted trending. Guys, boobies, here we go. 3, 2, 1, Zani.
Oh my god.
Wow, that's a carrot boob.
I can't do no small talk, no small talk. I'm not with the small talk. Can't be with the small talk.
I grew up in a different era of hip hop, guys. Different era, dog. Different era.
I'm sorry, Shabzi.
Nah, dog.
We'll give you a hip hop hug after this. Triple H.
I don't think the hug would help. It's almost like it's J. Cole.
A
Bro,
hip hop hug.
it's also like storytelling records. You're retelling a story that happened by the time you're deciding to record it.
No, this is true.
Right? So if you're retelling the story, you're going to have to relive some emotions to give the song an emotion. So that you make people feel something. That's the gift of being an artist. Is that if you retell a story, it sounds like it's happening as I'm listening to it.
Yes. Also, when you retract the story, we are left story confused.
It's like watching a series and it makes you feel emotions. It's the same with music. Now I'm saying, like, bro, just go in with that mindset into the song.
I will say if the song makes you feel feelings and someone apologizes for it and then essentially retracts it, what is the listener supposed to do with the feelings they had when they listen to the song if there's a retraction?
Bro, let me tell you, him apologizing makes sense. Exactly what I heard in the song. You don't sound like you ready for Kendrick.
He's scared.
And when I said that to my brother, like, it was like, nah, Shab, you're being harsh. Now look at how we're chatting. You should see what he's saying now.
Hey,
I told you, bro. I told you. Anyways.
Okay, guys. Shabzi's hurt by what? Who's it? J. Cole.
I'm hurt by J. Cole.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm sorry.
I'm hurt, bro.
I'm sorry. I was about to say Kendrick. That's why I was like, no,
Come
no,
on,
it's not
bro,
Kendrick.
like,
It's J.
Hip hop is already peaceful, dog. Like, just address the guy.
It's because he apologized to K. Dot, which he shouldn't have. Yanga, you said he's a what?
He's a coward.
You know what I would have accepted?
What?
If his initial reply was, I'm not about the beef thing. On a song. Then cool. Live what's really in your heart.
That's funny. That's really funny. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm just imagining the song being like, I ain't about the beef.
I don't got time for that, man. Get out the street.
Yeah,
I'm on my bike.
I'm about to leave.
Get out the bike lane.
I don't know what part of the game this is, man.
All right, we're going to try and cheer up Shabzi. What's up, everybody? It's Lunch, baby. Woo! Yeah! I'm Zanele Potelwa, a.k.a. the People's Champion.
I'm Yanga Mjoli.
I'm Shabzi Madallion, Leshave, Mporampedi, Ta, Umorita, Wamorovakala, Wavarita, Wabasholo, Sikolo Sako, Gobuchilu, Rampedi.
Come on, that's right. Okay. All right, so we're just going to be having a conversation just like we did last time. You're kind of going to get to know us, but like also just like, we're having a conversation with you, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're digging in the bag?
Yeah, we is.
The bag.
The hat.
It's a bag.
It's a bag.
It's a bag.
It's a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's because Shabzi's always in his bag, you know what I mean?
I get
That's
you.
what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. All
A
right.
bag of hats.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Y'all ready?
Ready.
Brace yourselves. What about growing up has shocked you the most?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yo, why didn't I think of this?
Isn't this your question?
No, it's Yanga's.
Oh,
Yeah, Younger than you. Start us off, please.
please.
I think what shocked me the most is that you're truly alone.
Oh my goodness, I was literally gonna say the same thing. That's so
you're
weird.
truly alone. Like, it's your life, it's your journey. Stuff's gonna happen and nobody's gonna save you. Like, you have to save yourself, if that makes sense.
Were you hoping people would save you?
Well, yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
Because I mean, I think the transition from being a child to having to be independent as an adult, that switch up, I almost want to say it's like no one kind of prepares you for it. I don't think I was prepared enough for it. And that's not to say like, oh, parents did a bad job or something like that. Parents are kids who had kids. Like if I had a kid now, I would be this version of Yanga with a child, you know?
And your child will grow up and see the mistakes and the things that you should have taught them from their perspective.
Indeed.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like, I don't think you were ever like truly prepared to be adults who have to take care of themselves, find your place in society, and continue with whatever role you have like on earth for your life. And knowing that no one's going to save you. I think the reason I thought someone was going to save me is like, as a child, someone's always there to save you in a sense. Like for me, I'll say as my experience, like I could fall, someone's going to comfort me. I could be worried about a test, you know. Yes, I'm going to be told you better study and things like that. But there's someone there kind of pushing you to do it. So in a sense, you're still saving me. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
When you become an adult, I mean, you need to now find the means to, I say, survive. Like, you have to find the means to survive for yourself, especially when you're at a point where now you're working. So now you earn your own keep. And your job, you need to see the fruits of your labor. As in, you need to know you're doing a good job in order to keep your job. But doing a good job is also important for you. You should individually, as a person, want to do a good job.
Yeah.
So there's so many aspects that go into becoming an adult. You have to think about what you want for yourself. And it's for yourself. And it has to be for yourself. Because if you do what others want you to do, you've lost the idea of taking care of yourself. Now you're living another person's life. There's just so many factors that go into adulting.
They are. Mine, so in terms of like, I thought of the same thing. Mine's a little bit different in the sense of like, and I mean, I think we've had a conversation about this before, and it's the first thing that came to mind because I thought it might be a little bit different, but it's a thing of like, as a kid, I felt like very like lonely and stuff. Like even though I had like all these siblings and family and whatever. So in my mind, I was like, when you get older, that's when you're gonna like find your people. You'll find the what's that thing called?
Your tribe.
Yeah, like yes, finding your tribe, but almost like you'll find the mojo of like with other people. You'll find your mojo as people and things like that. Which. Yeah, like things like that. Okay. Like, you know, finding a little bit of emotion with other people. And for me, I'm like, I mean, I think it did happen like with my siblings and whatnot to a certain extent. But I think that it's not the idea I had of it. So I kind of look at life as a little bit of an oxymoron in the sense that, yes, you're born alone, but no man's an island. So yes, I have my people. So like I have people like you guys, which I'm so grateful for. But at the same time, no one's with you 24/7. You have to be there for yourself. Like you need to like have yourself. So yes, I can call you guys at any time and things like that. But there's moments where like
not any time.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you at 3 a.m. Shabzi.
I'm gonna ignore it.
He's like, I will reject it.
Yeah.
Shabzi, what if I'm dying?
Hey, bro,
Why you
like, you
dying
know, maybe it's your time. Maybe it's your time.
Why are you dying at 3 also? What were you doing? What are you up
You're in
to?
love with God, right?
Yeah, I am.
You would be
And
excited if he wanted you right now,
I
right?
was gonna, you're so rude. You are so rude.
Shabzi said, don't you want to meet him? Can't you wait
Do
to
you,
meet him?
do you see what I'm saying? You can't call anyone anytime. See,
Hey,
no one's
not-
there for you
yeah.
24/7. Exactly. So that's why I'm saying you need to have yourself in the sense of like being able to almost save yourself. Whether it's from bad thoughts, whether it's from doing bad things or like making bad decisions, you need to be there for yourself. Yeah.
What does this thing say again? Shocked you about growing up. You here. Ain't no
Going back.
out. You know, like that first day in jail. Like I've never been in jail, but haven't we all imagined it?
Yes.
There's no going out until your time is over.
Yes.
That's like the biggest.
Do you feel like we're in jail?
Not that we're in jail, but on those days, like you're saying, when you feel alone or lonely, or man, this life is on me, like you said, you know, those days, it's like it becomes more real. Like, wow, I can't just opt out. You know, there are some people who, you know, commit suicide, and respect and empathy for them, but that's not the route for me. No matter how dark it is, you know, it's like I just lean into the pain.
You have to though.
Yeah.
Like, cause the the other side is wow. Yeah. Okay. What role does family play in your life?
Support system. You know, some people support you emotionally, mentally,
Yeah.
physically when you're not physically able, and financially sometimes, you know, if you're having a tough month. That's the role that they play in my life. Support, honestly.
For me, I say in shaping who you are, because you grow up with those people. So for me, I like look at my mom and I look at my sister and I look at traits of my brothers as well, and I see myself. So even, for example, like I always say, things like me being into sport and everything, that comes from my brothers, because they decided, no, we're going to watch sport. Or like, no, we like sport now. Or they chose a soccer team, then that made me choose a soccer team. Or even with my sister, she's the reason I started doing public speaking, because she used to do it and she chose to do it and things like that. And also just like certain things that my sister would say or do, like because I was like the little sister, I always wanted to be like, oh my goodness, I want to be just like my sister. And I used to say that as a kid. So for me, it's definitely shaping the person that you are, because I'm made up like of all of them. Small parts of them at least.
So I agree with the both of you in the sense that definitely support and all forms of support me, you know, all forms of support.
Support me.
Support me.
Yo.
But also,
We're not your family, right?
no,
Let's
now you
stop
guys are
It
family.
sound like there's a must there. Compulsa.
It's important that I be supported.
Okay.
But also making up parts of who I am, not just through like my interests. I also think through just certain like experiences we've had with different family members. I'll put it that way. I think it doesn't matter whether the experience is like, or if it's positive or negative, but there's something about all these experiences I've had with these people throughout my life growing up, because those people were probably somewhat the closest to me around that time, like when you're a child,
Yes.
for instance. So those experiences, I think, have determined also how I guess I react to things, how I guess I reason, because those were one of the first few times I had to reason with people. So in that sense, I get it. But also, this is so random, I also think family is like history. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like family, the role I think family also plays is like history. Like these people are the history books, but not just about the family, just about our cultures, our traditions and whatnot, what they mean to us.
Sure. I like that. That's a...
These people love to be deep, guys.
How but so
I
what
thought
does
it was
that
a-
even mean?
I thought it was a simple question.
Not support.
If you break down what Zan said, oh yeah, they're a reflection of me.
They I'm a reflection of them.
Alright.
Because I'm the young one.
It's reflections.
And then Yanga took both our answers.
Yeah, she just
But I
scolded.
throw
And then
some,
she
I threw in some history.
elongated it, you know.
Yeah.
I word.
Turning it would come back 99%.
You let me know when you guys are ready.
Kidding.
No, have fun.
Yeah.
Have your laugh. Oh, okay. You wanted to get that one in.
I needed to.
Okay.
That one was special.
Are you good?
Ready.
Is our generation afraid of marriage?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
So if it's our generation, why are you afraid of marriage?
I'm not afraid of marriage.
Yeah, but why are you speaking on behalf of the generation?
I'm
No.
not.
Why are you talking on their behalf?
Yeah.
Kalugu, so, okay, for me, when we say our generation, right, I think like the majority. Because that's the way I think. Whenever I hear like a nation or
I
whatever.
think we should
whatever.
personalize it, because we can't speak on behalf of people we haven't had an in-depth conversation with about why they fear marriage.
Okay, I guess. Because for me, later on, I was going to go into my own answer.
Let's do it.
So, I'll do the short answer of me thinking our generation. Like the fact that we're not getting married. Like the fact that people are rather like, I'd just rather have a life partner and things like that. And I've spoken to multiple people who are like that.
None of us here are married either.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we fall into that so far.
No.
As far as your points are concerned.
I don't think, no, you guys aren't afraid of marriage.
But we're not married. To your point.
Yeah, but my
Yes.
point is the people who consciously make the decision to say, man, I just rather have a life partner.
How? So someone who says, I want to be married, but they're not married, they should fall in the bracket of
being
Not
afraid.
married.
Yeah, so they're not married, but I don't think they're afraid. So that's why I'm saying for me, if I found my person, I feel like I'd be ready to get married in 6 months. I'm silly like that, but I think I would. And I think, and I respect marriage, and I think that marriage is a beautiful thing. And I also think that yes, it's informed by my religious views, but I think even if I wasn't religious, I think I'd still see marriage like that, because I still think I'd be a spiritual person in some sense, like I'd find something. And for me, it's a thing of, I feel like marriage comes with a lot of blessings. So yes, in a spiritual way, but also in the sense of just understanding it holistically and being like, okay, this thing is about finding someone who's on the same wavelength as you, or maybe on a different wavelength, but you guys are,
equally yoked.
100%. And you guys are on this mission, and now you're deciding to go on this mission together in finding your purpose as individuals, but also then as people, and also just being support to each other, because I think that that's a big part of what a relationship is. It's supporting the other person in many different ways, whether it's love or in their career or just as a person. So I think that that's what makes marriage powerful, and that's why for me, I can't be afraid of it. More than anything, I think it's something to look forward to. So yeah.
Okay, I think, look, when I said yes, I think we are afraid of marriage, including me.
Okay.
But now I'll say this. One thing I've learned about myself is that, okay, I come from a broken family. But one half of that broken family went this way from that breaking point.
Okay.
The other half went this way from that breaking point. Two different solutions that I'm growing up with. And I've learned that I don't want to do life on my own. And that's why I don't have the same fear of marriage that other people might have. I think how we are afraid of it, there's different meanings and levels to it. The level I'm speaking to is I'm just aware that, hey, it's not a spiritual joke, making a covenant. I think we all spoke about this, And also the idea that I'm a person who loves their own company. So finding somebody who is going to be okay and aware of that.
Yeah.
And not take it personal when I don't always want to
be around you.
I enjoy my space. I have solitude times to myself where, look, I just want to be alone right now,
Yeah.
And the irony of that is both my parents, they went different routes, right?
Yeah.
One got married, the other continued on their own. So I take the pros of this route as well as the pros of this route. You know what I'm saying? So there are times where I want to be alone. There are times where I want to be with people. But the people I want to be with, I want to resonate with them.
Yeah.
I don't just want to be with people because I'm alone, or the time of me being alone has ran its course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's really my fear, the being alone and wanting my time to myself, and the idea of making a covenant with the wrong person.
Yo, that is such a big fear. Okay, if we're talking about that, yes. Woo! Getting married to the wrong person, I'd rather eat myself.
Well, you can't eat yourself.
Okay, come on. You guys know what I mean by that. Behave, please.
I mean, we don't know what you mean, bro.
Guys, you know what I mean by this.
Is it a common saying?
You're just coming up with your own things, ain't you?
I'd rather throw carrots. Is she mad? Is she happy? What does this mean?
Go there in the mirror and
I'm gonna get ya.
You guys hate me. You understand this on a regular basis, okay? Now today when there's cameras, you don't want to understand.
Why are you scared of marriage, Doug? Because we know you are. Right?
I think personally, I have a fear of failure. So I would hate, because this is how I'd see marriage, right?
Jeez.
First of all, I just really am a hopeless romantic of a person. So whoever I end up with, I need to be in love with you. And you need to love me.
And you need to be obsessed
You
with
need
me.
to love me so much, you wake up, you're like, Yanga!
Literally, I was thinking about that this morning.
Yanga's at work.
The next
and-
person I'm with. They
I
have
wish
to
I
like,
could hold her hand.
yes.
I want you to love
You have
me.
to call me every day and be like, oh my goodness, I love you so much.
In a healthy way.
Yeah.
Guys,
No, not
you
healthy.
ain't all that. though.
Ah!
All of us. All of us.
It's not
All
about
of
that.
us.
It's about the love.
You want somebody to be obsessed with
And
you.
I'll be obsessed with you.
They have
Okay,
known
Okay,
you
I don't want them to be
for
obsessed.
all your life.
I don't want them to be obsessed with me.
I want them
I've
obsessed.
actually,
That's obsession.
No, okay, but it's
You
no.
guys were
I
defining
said it-
obsession.
I
I
said
said in a
obsessed.
healthy way.
Ah,
Let's
nah.
find.
It can be unhealthy for me.
Oh, this is healthy.
I'm not agreeing with her. I said it can
She
be in
did.
an unhealthy
She
way.
did. She looked me in
Unhealthy.
the
It must be
eye.
unhealthy.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh my. Okay, so fine. Let me describe it in a healthy way. I'm someone who is very much just like I love love. You know?
Okay.
So I would want someone who loves me, and I love them. But when it comes to marriage, it's not just about love. There are all these oaths, these powerful oaths, like that you have to make. You have to accept that you truly are sharing like almost every aspect of your life together. So it's the idea, like for instance, you just mentioned the idea that like, okay, cool, we're making all these like covenants together. You know what I mean? Like that's why I keep saying vows are very serious. I really truly have never been in a relationship with anyone to be like for better or for worse. I don't think I've hit that love mission yet, if that makes sense.
I think you have.
With,
Look, me sometimes I think about I'm doing life with my family, you know, and I think psychologically there's this idea that just because they're family, you're with them for the rest of your life, and it's not really true. Like the people who are my family at this point in my life as an adult, it's the people I've chosen to do life with.
yeah.
Regardless of their flaws and their moments, ups and downs, they just have more pros than they have cons. You know what I'm saying?
That's
No, I
true.
get
Like I'm able to accommodate their cons because there's so much of the pros that I appreciate about them.
I think the reason I think that is there must be a reason or feeling or an experience of a memory of something that makes me worry about that, if that makes sense. The fact that maybe I don't know if I'm willing to be that committed to a person yet. But maybe I haven't met that person yet. Maybe when I meet the person, I'll be like, wow, you're the person as far as marriage goes, where I'm like, okay, cool, I think I trust you to link our lives. That's another reason. Our lives are linked. And if you're truly, I guess, getting married, I'm not shading anyone who's been divorced. I'm a child of divorce. A lot of people are children of divorce. We can all understand.
all three of
All
us.
three of us are children of divorce. Divorce happens, you know? All I'm saying is if I'm getting married, I would like to make sure, and this is because of my experience of being younger in my life. If I marry, I need to make sure that you are a perfect role model to whoever our children are going to be, as I will be, or you will try to be. You know what I mean? Or I need to also know that regardless of what happens, we are able to fix things. And if the idea of divorce looms in our heads, I don't think then I would be able to get married.
Never.
So that's why I'm saying
Never what?
We will never get divorced.
that is frightening.
No, I
mean, no, this is the thing.
I'm with that.
I
I'm
agree.
with that.
I agree with
I-
you. But that's just the thing. I agree with you. Ne? If my partner said that to me and we're married, I would be scared. Do you get what I'm saying?
Why,
like,
though?
if we're just chilling in the lounge, she goes, Yanga, you'll never leave me. We're together.
No,
That's
it's
divorce.
correct.
But also,
But I'm saying the idea of that for
Yes.
me means there's a of my freedom. That there's like a bit of my freedom that's like gone, if that's the point. But I shouldn't see it that way. But I
Yes,
still do.
yes,
The idea that
yes.
someone said that to me, I'd be shocked. But if I said it to someone, I want you to understand it though. Because in my mind, I'm like, I do believe we shouldn't be getting divorced if we're making these huge promises. Our hands are on biblical books. Like we need to be able to see it through, if that makes sense. But I don't know what it is that I will have to see through. Is another thing that scares me. Infidelity, you have secret children, you are drugs. You are drugs. You know what I mean? You could be anything. You are. Well, I don't know how I'm supposed to see that through. You know what I mean? But we'll have to find a way. And that's why I'm like, that's my fear also. I have a bunch
But we
of
have to
fears.
get to know the people we're getting to know, right? Like,
Definitely.
And ensure that they aren't partaking. And that doesn't mean they might not partake in drugs in the future. But then if you found someone that isn't in that realm, you're going to have to find a way to make sure and help that they don't end up in that place. You know what I'm saying? Like before it happens. And also the thing about being scared is like our generation doesn't address their fear. If I'm thinking in my mind, I'm scared to get married because I like time to myself. Okay, if I'm in a relationship right now, at some point I should make time to have that conversation with my person
This is true.
and be like, hey, listen, marriage is the goal. I'm just scared that I might lose my freedom. What do you think about that? You know what I'm saying? Then you're almost like you're already making vows and oaths before you're on the altar.
Yes.
That, no, I'm not trying to take time away from you, solitude or freedom of self. You know, like I met you as you are. I like who you are. You know, you need those things in your life to continue being who you are, the person that I want to do life with. You know?
But we're never getting divorced.
Yeah.
We're not. I'm sorry. It's not.
So if they cheat,
We're
You're
gonna
staying.
work through it.
Hey,
No,
but no.
I'm married. I'm married. This is not a grade 7 like disco where I saw you kissing someone and then
That's what I'm saying. I think there's a part of me that is at the disco. Okay, I don't want you cheating on me. I don't know how I would get through it.
Also, what's
we probably would, but still, it's the idea that will happen. And how do I explain this? Okay, have you ever been in a relationship where someone does something bad and it changes the relationship? Do you get what I mean?
yes.
Yes. So now the relationship we had is gone because we have a new relationship now where this is the reality of the things that have happened. We get through those things. This is now a new relationship. Our marriage is a marriage, but the marriage, the
It's
way
evolving.
it looked, it's evolved. Yes, it's changing. Another mistake happens. It is changing. By the time we're 60, I don't even think we're the same people we were when we got together within our marriage as it is. My thing is, I don't know if I can navigate all those changes as far as my feelings are concerned. Like, I am petty.
Younger.
And if you cheat on me, I don't know how I would react, especially if we have children. Because now I must be able to contain those feelings for the sake of our children. Which
Not contain.
when
You know
I
what I'm
say
saying?
contain, I mean around the children, I guess. I cannot give off an energy or anything that might polarize the way our children see you.
That's being responsible.
It is
Yeah.
being responsible, but that responsibility is heavy emotionally.
True. And that's where you and your partner see a therapist.
No,
And
Where you can
definitely.
go guns blazing in the therapy session and be
But
like,
then you come back and be
I hate you so much right now.
Then when I'm home, I'm like,
Do that again.
children.
Are we?
Wait, can I just
Okay,
say?
go ahead.
Okay, so in terms of the never getting married, okay, that's like
Never
the goal.
getting
I mean,
married.
sorry, the
Oh.
never getting divorced, forgive me. That's the goal. But unfortunately, when there's kids, if it impedes on the children, then I can't help you. Like, as in if you're a drug addict and we've tried everything.
that's different.
We took you to Sweden even and we said, go to the best doctors in the world and you're still doing nonsense and the children are now being affected. I can't help you.
That's different.
So would you get separated but not divorced and live in different houses but stay married?
I might divorce you. Like as in like if us still being married and stuff is like if we can't explore that anymore at all. Because now it's completely
but
like,
see,
gone.
that's why I'm saying, like, it's so hard to meet someone that is not on drugs, and then you're with someone, that same person gets on drugs. My question with that is, at what point did he start becoming interested in drugs? What happened? You know, and if you're in a relationship with somebody you're seeing every single day, this is your partner, how are you not observing the changes before they get on drugs? You're seeing that, oh, this person's taking a left turn.
Yeah.
How can it get that dramatic if the person doesn't have history with drugs?
I guess, but then I also feel like your friend, I feel like it's a tough one. So yes, there is the whole thing of like you're supposed to pick up on those things, right? Because you see this person every single day and things like that. But then what happens if like you really do get to know like someone who recovered from something like that and they change their life completely? And then now a switch goes off, either someone passes away or they lose their job or something happens and it sends them right back.
You gotta be there for them. That's where you have to step.
Yes, I was about to
that's
say.
what I'm also, yes.
I was about to say that for me, I'm glad you brought up that example because that's the example I'm waiting for. For me, those are personal red flags.
And definitely.
Like the idea of, I'll get in a relationship with you because I think the idea is noble over my feelings about, do I want to be in a relationship with someone who's an ex-drug addict? Honestly, truthfully, without judgment. Do I want that for myself? No.
But
You
I was
get what I'm
gonna
saying?
say,
It
I
doesn't
get
mean
you.
everybody doesn't deserve a second chance at life or at love. And it's not to say someone can't end up in a relationship where they never see the drugs ever again. You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
Does that mean, like, in a sense, how do I even put this? It's almost like having to sit down as an individual and be like, are my views around certain things with this, just to keep it here, my view around dating a certain person who's been through a certain experience, is my view on it my view because of what I believe?
Yes.
Or is it my view because of what
Because
society would like me to
You know what I'm
be?
saying? And I think a lot of us, part of our fear of marriage is we're realizing that our parents made certain decisions for the greater good, not their subjective feelings. And that's not to say every feeling in a marriage or a partnership or a team needs to be about your subjective perspective. You know, for us to work well together, we have to consider each other's perspectives, provided that our perspectives are actually healthy for the greater good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I am... I don't want to save you from drugs. That's not to say I can't be in a relationship with someone where I am helping them through a struggle. There are levels to struggles, and there are struggles I am willing to be there for you for. Their struggle, if it ever revisits, I don't know. I don't know if I can be there.
So then I think it's about, like, in a very loosely, in marriage, it's about thinking, what's the worst case scenario and am I staying? If that makes sense. Do you get what I
Yes.
mean by that?
Yes.
I get you. But
Yeah.
that's why I said then the vows confuse me. Because then I said for better or for worse. So even if it
Yes.
is the worst, like
Yes.
the worst, I should still
Yes.
be able to stay. That's why I'm like,
Yes.
that's what scares me. As in, if it is that bad, it impedes on my children's lives. But I have made this massive spiritual vow. In my head, I'm kind of like, okay, cool. I guess then we would have to live separate lives. But I made a vow. I made an oath to stay with you. While we're living these separate lives, I guess I still have to do my job as a wife and kind of trying to support you and get you out of whatever now
it is.
we're in now.
Yeah.
I mean, hey man, Bill Cosby's wife stayed his wife. Do you see
Okay,
what I'm
just-
saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, people were like, what? Oh my word. But at the same time, maybe with her, she's like, worst case scenario was this.
Yeah.
And I guess I still have to stay here because we've built a covenant, started a family. Our lives have always been intertwined. As us on the outside looking in, we're not involved in these oaths you guys made. Hence, it can be easy for us to judge.
Yeah, that's true. Sure. Marriage. This is why people are scared.
Good luck, Buffett. Good luck. Why are we voting this year?
Because it's my right and my responsibility to vote.
I mean, we know that
Okay.
factually. But why are you?
Why am I voting?
Yeah, for real.
Okay. I have a couple of reasons, but off the top of my head, number one, I think it's really cool that I can vote. Like, I'm being serious. Like, I think it is quite cool that I can vote. And I'm not talking about South Africa's history and apartheid and things like that. I'm just speaking from my experience. I did not really live through pre-94 times. You know, I was born after. I'm just saying the idea that I
dog,
can...
we did a lot for y'all, man.
Yeah, me too. Those
Us
40 days
OGs.
I fought the struggle
Yeah.
was hard.
I'm sure.
Bro, you were crying.
I was 40
we got
days
our
years
freedom.
old.
You were crying.
I was exactly.
For
Cry
what?
the beloved country.
No.
You
Exactly.
didn't even know what a country
I did.
was. You were just like, things are changing. But anyways, back to what we were saying. The reason I think I am voting is, look, if I have, like, someone used to say this to me and I used to hate it, but now I understand it in a different light. Someone used to say to me, well, a lot of people say this, they say, if you don't vote, you don't have a right to complain. And I was kind of like, I think everyone has the right to complain no matter what. But I do understand the notion of, if you're not even going to say something or tell us what you would like, then what are we to do with your opinion? Does that make sense? I'm not saying you cannot have it. I'm just asking, what are we supposed to do with it if you don't even do your own
I mean,
due diligence?
no one represents my opinion.
If no one represents your...
I'm saying as far as the parties are concerned. So should I not share my opinion?
No, definitely you should. But the lack of, I think, representation, I think that then it becomes an individual's job now. Now it becomes your own self-work where it's like, damn, do I A, which is okay. It is still voting in my opinion. Like when if people drop their empty ballots or unmarked ballots, for instance, you still voted. That's your expression. Do you get what I mean?
What's dropping an empty ballot? Sorry.
It's when you don't vote, but you go to the ballots.
Really? I didn't know I could do that.
No, I mean, people do it. It's just, I don't know. Is it a spoiled ballot? I don't know.
No, the spoiled ballot is when you like vote for
Cross
more than one
everything,
party.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, people do drop empty ballots.
They do.
They do.
That's so interesting.
So I'm saying you can do that. I don't even think that's anything to judge anyone for.
I'll judge you.
You know, but this is my thing. You can do that. You cannot vote at all. Like you just didn't go at all, I guess, right? Or you can pick what is as close to your values. Or it's almost like people say, what's the saying? There's the devil that you know, and then there's the least something.
The lesser evil.
Yes, I don't know. People use their own like they there's a variety, is my point, of ways that I guess people can move when they don't see a party that represents their views. I won't lie to you. I have no idea who I'm voting for. But I know I'm going to get there and then I'm just going to be like, look, it's time to make a decision now. Who are we voting for? The only reason I am voting, I mean, I have a vote. I should use it.
Yeah.
And I registered to, so I'm like, I guess I already planned to. So I have to vote. That's just my feeling.
Yeah. Oh, you sounded like you had people that represent your opinions.
No.
Which party is that?
It's the Zanele party, if you do
Oh,
not
is
know.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, East London vibes. So
No,
Madiba, aka
Zanele.
aka
What?
Hey.
hey.
My vote, my secret. Okay, I will say that first and foremost. Okay, but I don't know who I'm voting for where I am right now, and that's why I want to go through all of the manifestos and stuff, because I feel like for the first time I can make an informed decision, because I think now I'm more invested than I ever have been in terms of politics in our country. I think before, because I couldn't. But then also, just like in the last election, I was registered in the wrong place. So I never got to vote. I could only vote provincially. But I think that it's very important for us to be serious about our votes because of what you said. I agree with that. But then also for me, dude, apartheid really touched me. It's that thing, when I was 8 years old and Sarki Batman's... You're so rude. You are so rude.
I don't know why you were crying.
And I did cry,
You're
okay? Yes, I was. I was upset that people were dying, okay? When Sarki Batman's body came back from England, because they were telling the whole story about her body being in the museum and her being in the museum actually when she was still alive and everything. It hurt me because I as an 8-year-old I understood that it was inhumane and it didn't make sense, and hearing just about the slaves and things like that, and then also now moving to apartheid and hearing about things like Sharpeville and how all of those people were shot in the back because they were running away, they weren't there to have a violent protest. It was a peaceful protest. I was just like, our people did nothing wrong. All we wanted was to be able to vote, have electricity, have water as well, and all of
Treated equally and whatnot.
Dude. And that's why for me, even to this day, that's why racism and anything that has to do with apartheid touches me. That's why I can't watch slave movies and things like that, because I don't understand why you treat anyone differently just because of the color of their skin. You don't even know me. I haven't shown you to be anything else but just another human being, you know? So that's why for me, I'm so many people fought for this just cause. It's, I think, incredibly disrespectful for us to turn around and go, I'm not going to vote. Why? I don't want to. I don't know who. If you don't know who, take the time to find out who. It's actually something serious. So, yeah, that's me.
I just want to remove some power from the currents.
Hectic.
I want to balance it out, make my contribution.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our contribution is political than it is me choosing someone who represents me and my opinions and what I believe, You pick the person who's closest to that. But I'm really picking because you're trying to make sure everything balances.
Yeah.
You know, in hopes that there'll be a change and a new way forward for the country.
And people holding each other accountable.
Yeah, you know. But I must say, like, I don't know, man. I understand the people who aren't tapped in to politics.
Yeah.
You know, because some people genuinely can't see the benefit.
I get that.
You know, regardless of even me thinking this way of I'm gonna vote to try balance out the results. But I understand other people who are like, they don't want any part of it because their situation isn't changing. You know, when we finish work, we're driving back home, got a roof over our heads. You know, you want to take a piss, you got a toilet. You know, like there's certain people who don't have like basic needs, and we asking them to be tapped into politics. It's like,
No, I get
it's a
you.
big ask, you know?
That's true.
I was going to say, for instance, I think the first time I was supposed to vote, I don't remember how old I was, but I remember like it was like, go get registered to vote and stuff like that. I just did not care about politics. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So
I'm
that
the
is like a
same.
whole other different
Yeah.
like way of thinking about it where
But we privileged. though.
yes, I get it.
We're
Exactly.
privileged,
That's why I'm
yeah.
like, even when it comes to people who are privileged, you're there going like, maybe I don't even care about politics.
Yes.
Because maybe it might not affect your life. Maybe. Or maybe I think it's just never been something important ever. Because with me, my family is, I think they care about politics, but it was never something where it's like at Christmas you hear people, they're talking about politics and things like that. No, that was just their conversations. So now me growing up and stuff, I'm just watching TV going, who's that guy? And my mom's like, that's Kgalema Motlanthe, is the new president. I'm like, oh, nice. You just get them like that. Like, I didn't know. I had no idea how he got there. I was just like, that's the new president, the end. And I went to school. We all were like, oh, we got a new president, the end. We didn't care to question, understand what happened to Thabo Mbeki, nothing. We just moved on with our lives. So now as an adult, I'm like, whew, I was cruising in life. I really just did not care. It didn't matter to me. Hence, I was just not voting. Now, I guess with a different perspective now, I'm kind of like, woo, especially because of news. I will not lie. News did a lot, like doing news did a lot to open my eyes to a bunch of things. I was just like, what? Corruption, where? What?
Everywhere.
So that also is a moment for me. Like now, it's my conversations where I go home and I'm like, well, Mama, did you know? And she's like, yes, I watched the news. And I'm like, whoa, I just never cared. It was never important to me. But now I guess it is.
Can I just say, Shabzi, you're so right about that in the sense of like it's difficult to ask that of the people who are literally living day to day, just trying to survive. You know what I mean? Like even for us, we live, I think, even more privileged than we think sometimes. Because yes, we're like, we go home, food, roof, and whatever. Even if all of those things disappeared, we'd still have them.
Yeah.
Because we have families.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's people who literally, they're their own last hope.
Yeah.
Like that's the end. And I think that it's so sad to firstly think of the divide in South Africa economically, in the sense of like, it's so scary that there's people who are living exactly the same way it was when it was in apartheid.
Yeah.
Where you're waking up at 4 a.m., you're going into the suburbs, you're doing what you need to do, not raising your children, and then earning less than what you should be, and then still going home and like feeding those children, like let's say once a day. Like that's a reality. And then I think the other thing as well is that's also why it's our responsibility.
Yes.
To do the research, to find out what's going to help those, like the classes that, or the economic classes that unfortunately aren't where we are. Do you know what I mean? Or anything like that, or aren't in a good position to be able to be like, let me tap into politics, because they're just worried about survival.
I agree, right? I think, yes, us here, we should vote. And people who are where we are should vote. But the idea to think that is the holistic solution, it's not.
Definitely not.
So I think like individuals like us should use our gifts and our skills to give back in some way, shape or
100%.
form. Not to force everybody to give back. People can give back however they feel is giving back for them. Even if it's, I'm an artist, writing a song that brings awareness
Or hope.
to what's happening to a certain group of people, and people consuming that song and caring more about what's happening about those group of people, you know? But the idea that that's the solution, us making a cross on the ballot paper this May, like there's a sense of, I feel, laziness in our era,
Definitely.
our generation and peers that we have. You know, we think we should be given everything just because we are working hard, or I wrote a great record, or you did a great link, or you know what I'm saying? Like, but nobody's going to give us anything. You know, we already have what we have, and we have to use what we have to push the country forward. Unfortunately, we are where we are, and some of the work that we're doing is only literally going to benefit our descendants. You know, the country we would love to live in is the country they might be living in if we, you know, add our own 2 cents to it.
100%. And can I tell you, I think about it all the time whenever I see like people who are like, you know, unfortunately in bad situations, right? I think that in South Africa, in terms of the people who are privileged, the minority like us, I think that so many us live.
So many us, huh? Is that the new language?
So many of us.
So many
this
of
speech. This speech. We can't even vote for her.
Yo,
now.
what's the party? Zanele.
So many.
Hey, bro.
This body includes everyone, even the people
Does
who
it?
can't speak English like
Is
myself. Yes.
Some of us can't speak.
You just couldn't. It wasn't even English. You just couldn't speak.
Goodness. I think so many of us, and maybe actually, I was speaking on behalf of myself, but I also think that it's possible that it's the reality for others. We live such a life of ignorance because to think of the truth is actually painful.
Yeah.
Like to think that there's millions of South Africans that go to bed, like almost a third of us, that go to bed without food each night.
Yep.
That you have to live a life of ignorance. Because you sleeping at night, how are we all sleeping when we know a third of us, children, mothers, fathers, everyone is sleeping without food?
Yeah.
I think it's what was that statistic? I think we discussed once around, like there's 10% of the country earn how much?
7.5.
7, like, and that's 10% and up. I think.
Yeah.
Was it? I remember hearing that when you guys discussed this. I went home and I thought about it some more, and I was like, wow, people were buying PlayStation 5s.
Yep.
And there's like a whole like 90% of the country that maybe is not able to access that. If that statistic's true. If
But
not,
also
it's very
there's
true.
the I saw a clip. It's funny, but there's truth to it. Where the kid was like, look, if the money you have can change your situation, might as well just spend it all. Because some people are in that situation. It's like, let's get this PlayStation. I'll be left with $1,000 left, but at least I'll be happy.
I'll be happy. I'll survive.
It's a lot. Okay.
Again,
Next.
go in. Slim Shady. Halala.
Your favorite childhood story and why? I had an answer for this, then I forgot it.
Oh, it's your question.
No, it's Yanga's.
Word?
Word?
Oh, is it
Childhood
me?
story.
I think it's me.
I don't know if it's not.
Oh, no. I remember it now. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Your favorite childhood, like, storybook. Like, so whether it's a fairy tale or a storybook like by Roald Dahl and them, or like just like any story that you were told.
The
as a
Lion
kid.
King.
Why?
I loved that movie as a kid. Loved it so much, you know. Like when we speak of animations, you bring it up. This is before starting to watch it as an adult.
Yes.
You bring it up, and then you grow up and you become an adult. You watch the movie, and then it hits you why you loved the movie. You know, I don't know, man. I think kids are very spiritual.
Yeah.
It's hard to think that we understand the depths of movies. We might be the depth as it's happening as a kid. But now as an adult, it feels like we're observing the depth, you know? So that movie, this little cub lion goes out his ways, you know, father got killed and lost his roots, identity. He inherited, you know, the land, the Pride lands, and he's a king and forgot all about that, you know. I feel like it's a resemblance of our generation.
Yeah.
We got raised by kings, queens. This is where we come from. You look at the history of where we come from, but we modernized. We who we are now. Can't speak my home language as fluently as
Why
my
did you look at me
grandmother
like that?
All of
When you
us.
said it.
All
Okay.
of us. I mean, you're up there.
Yes.
like we're not as in touch with our roots.
Yes.
Right? And I feel like when Simba came back, that's where we are now with our generation. Us trying to realign history and today. Because you can see how lost we are because of the lack of the foundation. So that will always be an all-time childhood story I love to always revisit.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
So the foundation would be Pride Rock, right? Who is Scar then to the generation? I don't know why I was thinking like that.
That's
but you
real.
get what I mean?
I mean, Scar is part of the family. And I think every family has that family member or family members who always choose the left.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That uncle, that aunt, that's wishing bad on you. You don't know why. They have beef with your father,
Jealous.
your mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, that movie is the best interpretation of life. Like, we all have that family member. Scar.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Some have many scars.
you know what I'm saying?
5,000
Some of them have
scars.
many of them, and some of us have a Mufasa. You grow up without having access to that history. That father was teaching Simba a lot as a child. So just imagine if he lived on to continue grooming Simba to take over. That's so much of that history gone, dead, because a family member in the family chose to partake in some witchcraft to kill you.
I feel bad for Simba now.
Now?
Yeah.
Don't, I'm all right.
Okay, thanks, Simba. Shabzi. This is where the question came from, because when I was growing up, I had a favorite. I had a favorite book that I used to go take out from the library.
Oh,
It was
Cinderella.
What a nerd.
Oh, but that is my favorite fairy tale. But my favorite book was The Folk of the Faraway Tree. And it was about these 3 little children, and they used to go into the forest, and then they
3
used
little
to
pigs.
No,
I think this question, she wrote this question down to let us know she went to librarians and she used to
Yeah.
take
no.
books out.
You guys are
She
so
reads,
rude.
guys.
Guys, no,
She's
I
well
wanted
read.
to know you guys better. Parent! Oh my goodness. Parent just booed me. It's fine, guys. It's because of you guys.
Go ahead. I mean, give us your amazing story.
I'll speak to you. So, it's about these 3 kids. They go into the forest, and when they go into the forest, it's pretty much like Narnia, actually, if you think about it. Narnia might have stolen this premise. But in any case, so they go into this tree trunk type of thing, and then they in this whole different world. And there's all these different characters and things like that. And I think that that whole different world helps them almost discover themselves, helps them become a little bit more brave and all these different things. And for me, I just really loved that they had a place to go to as kids that just really affirmed them and made them that much better. And more than anything else, it was a safe space, I think, as well. But it was also a place that just allowed them to kind of be themselves. And I think that is such a big lesson for kids. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you grow up, there's so much teasing, there's so much this, there's so much that of what you should be, what you shouldn't be, and all these things. I think that one of the aspects that I loved about that book is that it encourages kids to really tap into that and tap into who you are and the best version of yourself, and just evolving as a kid. And I think that's why it's one of my favorite books. I love that
Thanks.
story.
Younger?
Thank you. Wow.
Let me just get on my
joking.
phone.
No, you can't do
I
that.
don't matter.
You can't do that.
I
Come
can.
on. No, you can't.
Was a dope story.
I love it. The story is the 3 kids.
I can't see the love in your eyes.
The story is the 3 kids.
Yeah. Fire.
I'm looking for
What's your story, Younger?
Mine.
I'm looking for a new family.
Come on. Mine is the Jungle Book. Don't call us scars. Mine is the Mine is the Jungle Book. And the reason I like the Jungle Book is around the time when I first saw it, I actually think I was getting bullied, now that you mentioned bullying. Because my mom bought me a lot of the characters were always being bullied, right? And there was always like this is how you come out on top thing. But I think the reason the Jungle Book is such a memorable and like a proper favorite of mine is I had the movie, like my mom got me the VCR, and I also had like the tiny book. But I loved, and I kind of, what's the word? When you see yourself in someone, identified. I identified with Mowgli. Because Mowgli, in a sense, was left as a baby somewhere. He was raised with wolves, right? But the wolves, in a sense, also bullied him because he wasn't a wolf. He was a man. And then he had to take part in this test to become a part of the family. And he failed because he's a man and he was never going to outrun wolves, you know? But there is not Bagheera. Damn. What's the name of the bear?
You don't have to know the name.
No, it means I don't care about them.
Yeah.
No, I do.
It means you're making the story up.
I'm not making a story.
What's
So
his
this
name?
Bagheera is the panther, but the bear. So the bear almost becomes like a proper parent figure, and it doesn't make sense because obviously he's a bear, and then there's the panther Bagheera who's also a parent in a sense to Mowgli once he's kicked out of the pack. That relationship is not natural, and it doesn't make sense. But it made me understand why I had a lot of unnatural relationships with a bunch of things that didn't make sense, and it made me feel okay. Like I like talking to animals. So the fact that Mowgli could talk to these animals, I was like, yeah, I love animals. So this makes me feel better. And if anything, I think it was also bought so I wouldn't feel weird about being the person I am, because I'm sure my mom was watching me talk to myself and like talk to things and like go outside and talk to my dog. So in her head she was like, okay, cool, let's get to this, here's a movie, whatever. I'm watching it going, oh my word, I love this, and they're wolves are like dogs.
Yeah. Mowgli Mjoli.
Miss Doolittle. Talk to the animals.
Why'd you call me Mowgli and George? Baloo is the bear.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
We had to Google, guys.
You didn't have to Google.
In your head, you had to.
We are like 57 minutes in. Ain't it crazy?
That is
Aaron's
insane.
gonna kill us.
I mean, yeah.
Guess he's got to work.
You guys want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Is it
How
May?
are we wrapping it up?
How didn't you choose?
No, I didn't.
You chose. Oh,
She chose
okay.
it.
So you having the last.
It'll be very
hopefully
quick.
it's good, man.
How do you determine who you trust?
Wow.
Hectic.
Wow.
I mean, we had a conversation about this.
Did we? What did we say?
I said that I'm like, oh no, we were talking about us individually, but the people that I am more likely to trust, like I told you, are kind people. So for me, like if you're genuinely
What
a
if
kind
I'm pretending?
person,
How
but
do
that's
you
why
know?
I'm saying genuinely. So
How do
I'm
you
like,
know?
so
I'm
I
pretending.
said it the other day.
Yeah.
that it's very hard to fake genuine kindness. A lot of the time you can see through it in terms of like either how a person is or their thinking or the things that they say. I think it's very difficult to fake genuine kindness. So for me, if you're a kind person, I think that lets me know that you probably, not you are, because you never know with people. But for me, it almost lets me know that like to a certain extent, you consider other people. And I think that you also are someone who might possibly like think twice before you do things or say things or whatever it might be. So that's why for me, I'd be more drawn to trust rather a kind person.
I generally don't trust people. I have to do life with you.
Hectic.
And in due course, in due time, the trust will grow. It's hard to just give people trust. I don't know you. I don't know what you're about. I don't know why you believe in the things that you believe in, why you move the way that you do. You know, as soon as these questions get answered as I am doing life with you, the trust is beginning to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But from the beginning, zero.
I give you a hand of trust.
Nah.
And if you then
I
take it back.
assume you're a bad man, though.
I don't.
I assume you're a bad man. Like, stay away from
Not
me.
a bad man.
I mean, for me, it's a feeling, but I tend to trust people who show me immediately, if you're just like immediately very honest about random things, you could be honest about anything. I could be in the corner of the room and just saying to someone, I just have to tell you the truth. Listen, what you cooked sucks. It smells bad. I'll be like, well, that wasn't nice, but it was honest. You know, like, I don't know. The minute you do that, I'm like, it almost seems like there isn't a ruse or filter I would need to get around. I can trust that because you seem to be honest. Another one is when you seem to trust me, which doesn't make sense. But if you show me you trust me, I already trust you. It's a mess. Like, I wish I was more guarded around trusting people. But with trust, I don't know. It's almost just like the minute you show me that I can trust you, like, Yanga, this is my opinion on this. Please never tell a soul. What? You trust me? Okay, I trust
I
you.
get that though. What I relate with that, and maybe it's secretly the same for you, is being a healer and being a spiritual person. You tend to attract people who want to tell you things. You know what I'm saying? There's something about your aura, your energy, that they feel safe around you.
Yeah.
They might not know why they do,
Yeah.
or that might find themselves telling you things, and while they're telling you things, they're like,
Why am I doing
why am I telling you? I don't tell anybody anything, you know? And because of my awareness of that gift, I don't just give you trust just because you feel safe around me. I'm just aware that this is my gift and you're getting what you need to get from it. But once you're done getting something from it, in my mind, you're going back to normal human being that I don't trust.
All right, this was fun.
That's great.
Was this your perfect 5 unscripted?
I mean, don't bite other people's ideas, you know. End it your own way. You don't know how to end anything, bro.
Nice. I was going to say, do something unexpected.
Yeah.
Do something unexpected, dog. You
I'll
sound
show
like
my
everybody.
boobies.
You showing your boobies?
Do it, we'll trend.
Guys, yeah, you know, we'll have the first unscripted trending. Guys, boobies, here we go. 3, 2, 1, Zeni.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's a carrot boob.
This is 5FM.